This morning, President Donald Trump is taking action ahead of the midterm elections. The executive order he's planning on signing.
And a gorgeous day today is expected, today and Labor Day, but some not such nice weather is in the forecast. I'll let you know when that not such nice weather arrives.
Plus, a couple accidents this morning may affect your commute. We've got those closures that you need to be aware of. Well, good Sunday morning, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, your weekend morning anchor. And we've got a special guest filling in today for meteorologist Jacob Montesano.
Hey, good morning. How are things going for you today?
This is Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Yeah, I suppose I could say my name. It's right there. It says that.
It is there, but I want to introduce you for people who may not know.
I appreciate
They should know by now. But I'm doing pretty good, and the weather is getting me ready. I'm excited for today. It's beautiful.
Me too. I'm ready to get my walk on when get a little bit later into the morning. We were talking a little bit earlier. Sometimes this time of year, it's 80s, 90s, sticky, stormy. None of that. None of that today.
We've got a perfect weekend today.
Yeah, almost a bit on the chilly side to start off this morning. But hey, I bet people on the other side of that camera probably not complaining too much about the chilly start. This is a live look of I-94 right now as we speak more on that in just a couple moments. But the sun is on the way up, and the sun's going to be around all day today as we plan your day here in Madison. Temperatures are going to make it up into the upper 60s to right around 70 by the time we get to the noon hour, and then we'll go for high temperature. How about this? 74. Again, it could be 80, it could be 84, it could be 90 this time of year, with Labor Day being the unofficial end to summer. La Crosse, copy and paste here. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, sunny skies out there, and the sun's going to stick around today. Sun's going to stick around as we go on into Monday. A little patchy fog, though, to start off Monday morning, but not expecting overly dense fog, at least not at this point in time. But something to keep an eye on if you're going to go down and be doing any driving in some of those low-lying areas like a Wisconsin River Valley or any of our other ravines in the southern Wisconsin. A little bit of patchy fog to start things off. You see, Wednesday sticks out pretty clearly, a day of showers, and we could have a couple of thunderstorms. When you join me in a little bit later, we're going to break that weather system down a little bit more. I said it's starting off a bit on the chilly side. Took my dog Loki out this morning at 48 with shorts and a short sleeve shirt, and I thought, that's a bit on the chilly side, but now I really see it here as I take a look. The actual temperatures a little warmer off to the west. A little warmer air is going to come into the area by the time we get to Tuesday, out ahead of the cold front that I was talking about coming Wednesday. All the information you need to know about that cold front and that rain chance on Wednesday in just a bit.
Alex, thank you. Multiple crashes this morning are closing roads. Crews have just now finished clearing I-94 after a crash closed both lanes early this morning. State Patrol does confirm a sedan crossing over and hitting a semi. Both drivers were transported for non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the sedan is being investigated for an OWI. Now, in Rock County near Janesville, there is a full closure on Highway 14 from Fox Road to Rotary Road. And in Lodi, State Highway 60 is also closed in both directions from Highway 188 to Gastro Road. Now, these are both separate incidents, and the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is not currently able to confirm any information, including injuries or vehicle pedestrian involvement. But we will be keeping you updated on air and online at channel3000.com as we learn more. WISC is reminding drivers this holiday weekend and every weekend to drive sober. Already 3 lane closures this morning. Only 1 is confirmed as an OWI investigation so far. But every year in Wisconsin, the Department of Transportation reports thousands injured and hundreds losing their lives due to intoxicated drivers. So here's your reminder to stay safe this weekend. Booze it and lose it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Keep yourself safe and help keep those around you safe. Taking a live look now at the White House, where topping our news this morning, President Donald Trump is saying Chicago is likely to be the next city to see a step up in immigration enforcement. Now, this comes as Trump is turning his attention to eliminating voting by mail ahead of next year's midterm elections. CBS News' Christian Benavides reports.
Overnight, President Trump wrote on social media that he plans to sign an executive order to implement voter ID nationwide. He also railed against voting by mail. Trump spoke on the issue earlier this month in the Oval Office.
We're going to end mail-in voting. It's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it.
His pledge comes as he faces a number of legal setbacks after a judge blocked the Trump administration from expanding fast-track deportations, and a federal appeals judge has put his emergency powers to implement tariffs in jeopardy. His planned immigration enforcement operations in Chicago, which are likely to start later this week, are also leading to a showdown between federal authorities and police in that city.
We will not have our police officers, who are working hard every single day to drive down crime, deputized to do traffic stops and checkpoints for the president.
The city's mayor signed an executive order blocking police from cooperating with federal immigration officers. The White House blasted the mayor in a statement. If these Democrats focused on fixing crime in their own cities instead of doing publicity stunts to criticize the president, their communities would be much safer. Meantime, in a new interview, Trump said a bilateral meeting between Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky and Russia's Vladimir Putin is unlikely to take place, but that a trilateral meeting, including the U.S., will happen eventually. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Thank you, Christian Benavides. The president did not give a timeline on that trilateral meeting, but his comments come as the leaders of Germany and France met this week to discuss Ukraine. The president of France is calling on Putin to commit by Monday to meet with Zelensky. And in today's Health Watch, experts say Americans are reading drastically less than they used to, and it's bad for our education and our health. A University of Florida study finds daily reading for pleasure has dropped 40% over the last 20 years. They say it could be due to the rise of digital media, less leisure time, and less access to books and libraries. Researchers say reading for pleasure supports mental health, empathy, creativity, and lifelong learning. And if your partner is looking at their phone too much, you might want to have a conversation before it's too late. Researchers at the University of Southampton find people with emotional insecurities report more depression, lower self-esteem, and greater resentment when their partner snubs them to look at their phones. This led to people retaliating by going online to get validation from others. And eating more omega fatty acids could protect women against Alzheimer's disease. A King's College London study finds a correlation of women with Alzheimer's and lower levels of omega fatty acids than healthy women. Researchers say women can make sure they eat enough omega fatty acids through fatty fish or supplements. And the study notes men do not seem to get that same benefit.
And wonderful morning for some motivation. How about our motivational quote for today?
Yes, sir. Quote from Joseph Addison today. He says, "What sunshine is to flowers, smiles are to humanity." Do you like this one?
I love this one. We were talking about it earlier. So you sent me a couple. Which one should we do? And I said, we got to do this one. So here you go. Smiles for all of southern Wisconsin today. Smiles in the weather as well. Weather's going to be pretty nice as we carry forth out into the future, and I have a little bit more information about some rain on the way.
And still ahead, Elia Liberté joins us, taking a look at Wisconsin wages, jobs, and the economy. Keep it here. You're watching Weekend Mornings.
And we want to make sure what you're getting into weather-wise when you walk out the door this morning. You got some nice stuff that you're going to be walking out into. Cool, I should say relatively cool temperatures for this time of year. Not all that hot, muggy stuff that still can be the case because it is still summer technically.
It is. Now, when does meteorological summer end?
Meteorological summer, well, summer ends right around, meteorological summer would be right now, September 1st. That's why we call today the unofficial last day of summer.
I didn't know today was the unofficial last day. Sorry, guys.
Well, I should say tomorrow, September 1st would be that meteorological end of summer, because then astronomical end of summer would be right around September 22nd. That I should know that off the top of my head, but
no, it's okay.
Right, it's okay because I'm not quite ready for summer to end just yet.
We're hanging on to the warmth, at least what's left of it.
For now, unfortunately. I have to say that for now. I always like to be the sunny, optimistic person, but we have temperatures in the upper 50s for highs, not
That's
lows.
crazy.
I know.
That's
It's going to be a chilly period ahead, Michelle Renee. And let's take a peek here. It's all part of the 3 things that you need to know. As we go into Wednesday, that's going to be that transition of the rain out ahead of a cold front that's going to get us into those cool temperatures, very cool temperatures, but not before some sunny and pleasant weather ahead of that. And as we also take note tonight and Monday night, a little bit of patchy fog, can't rule that out as well. Par for course, though, as we head towards fall that we were just talking about before. 74 today, 76 on our beautiful Labor Day. Again, that unofficial end of summer. Good chance for rain on Wednesday. Really clearly shows here as we look at our graphic there to the right, scattered showers and maybe even a couple of isolated thunderstorms across the area. And let's break that weather system down here as we go into the morning hours. That cold front gets into parts of the area stretching from Wisconsin Rapids to the Cross down towards Dubuque, with that front really starting to tighten up as we head towards the late morning and early afternoon hours. And by the time we get into the late afternoon hours and into the early evening, those showers and a couple thunderstorms out ahead of this cold front are going to push off to the east and southeast of Madison, ushering in blustery conditions. I can't believe I'm even saying blustery, because some of the temperatures by the time we get into Thursday morning, my goodness, could be into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees starting off that Thursday morning. Right now we're going for a low of 44. We could be seeing some areas, especially north and west of Madison, up towards Camp Douglas, up towards the Dells, right around that 40 degree mark as we start Thursday. A high of only 59 degrees. That's 20 degrees below normal. Yes. 20 degrees below normal. Our normal low is close to 59. We try to inch our way back up to 64 on Friday, upper 60s to right around 70 as we go into that following weekend, with the next chance for rain way out at the end of the 10 days. So enjoy these nice few days in the 70s to near 80 if this is the kind of weather you like. Although I know there's some folks that are ready for what you call that sweater weather as we head out a little bit further into the future. You're going to get that as we head into Thursday and Friday of the upcoming week. So we got a little bit of everything here. We got a little bit of summer, the taste of that, and then we got a taste of fall right around the corner, Michelle.
And that's why we love the Midwest. You know, we kind of got all of our seasons, or enough of them, just in one week.
It's just the good thing is that we're not getting summer, fall, and winter all in one week.
We can hold off on winter for now.
Let's just keep 2 seasons in the forecast for right now, and then in a little bit we'll talk a little bit more about the extended future, how long that cool weather is going to stick around.
Alex, thank you. In commemoration of Labor Day, the High Road Strategy Center released the State of Working Wisconsin. Now, this annual report looks at data on wages, jobs, and the economy. News 3 Now's Ellie LaLiberte sat down with the report's author, Laura Dresser, to discuss this year's biggest changes. Yeah, this year we're seeing a record high median wage at just about $25 an hour. Now, this is the second year in a row that wages have rose relatively quickly, and that is adjusted for inflation. Now, also this year, the labor market grew to a record 3 million jobs in Wisconsin. However, the report shows Wisconsin's jobs are growing half as fast as the national rate, and this year's growth has been weak. Report author Laura Dresser says overall, since the pandemic, there has been a strong sustained period of growth in the U.S. labor market.
And that means that we've had low unemployment consistently since about 22, 23. Here in 2025, the state unemployment rate is hovering just above 3%, which is very low, and suggests that workers have leverage and a little bit of power.
Dresser's report also notes some federal policy changes that she says could have a negative effect on Wisconsin workers. You can hear exactly what those are at 10:30 on Sunday on For the Record. Ellie, thank you. In consumer news now, Uber launched a new feature called Women Preferences, allowing women to request a woman driver through the rideshare app. Uber's safety report reveals nearly 6,000 sexual assault reports occurred between 2017 and 2018. By 2022, that number dropped to just over 2,700. Uber says this new feature can help women feel safer using the service.
We're in a very vulnerable position as drivers. Our backs are to the passengers, our hands are on the wheel, we're watching for safety on the road, and no one's really looking out for safety for us.
Uber notes most drivers are men, so they made sure the feature is easy to use for women passengers. Still ahead, we're making sure you know what a cow chip is.
And we have some really chilly air on the way to southern Wisconsin. Just how significant that chilly air will be, I've got the answer in a bit.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Good Sunday morning there, folks. Got plenty of good things in the forecast, at least up through Wednesday. Let's start off with two of the good things here, and then the third thing, well, we could use a couple of raindrops, but more on that in just a moment. Today, sunny going on into Monday. Pleasant conditions. A little bit of patchy fog. We're starting off with a bit of that tonight. We'll have that again tonight and then again Monday night. And believe it or not, even though we've had plenty of rainfall over the course of the past couple of weeks, we're right at about even for rainfall and water amounts. We could use a couple more raindrops by the time we head towards Wednesday. Those are the three things you got to get out of the forecast here. But let's plan our day here. Temperatures in the upper 60s at 10 o'clock, working our way into the low to mid 70s for highs today on Sunday with plenty of sunshine in La Crosse. Again, we have folks that tune in from La Crosse during the weekend days on Saturday and on Sunday, with today being that happy Sunday to you. We'll do 77 for high temperature as we go into a little bit later afternoon hours up towards La Crosse. Across the rest of the region, planning our highs today, ranging between 73, 74 degrees. Some of the higher amounts, La Crosse, 77. So gorgeous Sunday is expected today, and Labor Day Monday going to be just as stellar at 76 degrees. Want to also emphasize too, right beneath the high temperatures are our winds. East at 5 today. Calm winds on Monday. That spells that recipe for that little bit of patchy fog. But once again, this time of year, with this being kind of the unofficial end to summer, I don't mean to cast a bearer of bad news or anything like that, but it could be in the upper 80s, lower 90s and humid stuff, as I've been mentioning this morning. Nothing like that in the forecast. That big day on Wednesday is going to bring us rain and a couple of thunderstorms. We're going to track that cold front coming through, and then I'll show you just how significant the cool air behind that cold front is going to be for us and much of the upper Midwest. Michelle Renee.
Alex, thank you. I know some people in Purdusac saw that nice weather yesterday at the Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw that took over Marion Park for a celebration of the dairy industry. Now, the festival yesterday had plenty of entertainment, including a farmer's market and an arts and crafts fair. But most important is the signature event, the cow chip toss. Participants are given 2 cow chips to see which one will be thrown the furthest. But what exactly is a cow chip?
So it's actually a piece of cow manure. They're cattle that are actually fed a high fiber diet, so it gives us a little bit thicker chip. And it makes it more aerodynamic to throw. We pick them up about a month before our event, dry them on wagons, flipping them over to get that perfect chip.
No. Oh gosh. This tradition is a lighthearted callback to the importance of cow chips as fuel sources when pioneers first settled. I don't know if I myself would be making it out to throw one of those or touch it at all. Probably not me, but for most Wisconsinites, I'm sure this is right up your alley. Now, we still have a lot to talk about on Weekend Mornings. We'll have an update on that water main break in Middleton. But before we head to break, a look at your gas prices. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Keep it here. This morning, new details after shots fired on Mineral Point Road. What we know so far.
And I got gorgeous weather in the forecast for a little while. Then there's going to be some big changes on the way. What those big changes are, I'll let you know in just a couple of moments.
Plus, over half of parents spend $1,000 or more than they budgeted for when it comes to back to school. We'll tell you how you can be prepared. Well, good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us on this beautiful Sunday.
Gorgeous.
I'm your Weekend Morning anchor, Michelle Renee Quinn.
And Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. And as we always do on Sundays, a little bit of motivation for our viewers on the other side of that camera. How about that?
And it's a quote from Joseph Addison today. He says, "What sunshine is to flowers, smiles are to humanity." And we are smiling bright at you this morning for your Sunday.
The sun carrying on into Labor Day Monday. Long weekend for a lot of folks here, and a weekend of gorgeous weather too. We have the sun here and our motivational quote. We've got plenty of sun in the forecast as well. We'll talk more about that forecast. Here we go right now. Let's plan the day here in Madison. Temperatures getting into the 70s today. We'll do a high of 74 for Madison. Well, again, we got folks that tune in from La Crosse during the weekends as well, and those temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s towards the La Crosse area. Winds light overall today. Those light winds are going to carry on into tonight as well and into your Labor Day Monday. Across the region here, lots of 74s, a couple 75s. How about a 77 in La Crosse? Probably few complaints, I think, with these temperatures. As I've been mentioning all morning, I'm kind of on a roll with this just to remind folks that normal highs around 80, and sometimes Labor Day can be up near 90 degrees with a bit of humidity in there because it is still technically summer, but these temperatures are staying below normal. And as we move forward into the upcoming work week, we've got a big change on the way, and that big change is very clear in the 7-day chances for water across all of southern Wisconsin. That's Wednesday. Cold front's going to be coming through the area, and then we're going to have some really chilly temperatures behind that cold front. How cold will we go, and how extreme, or I should say how significant, will that cold air be? I'm going to show you when I come back in a little while.
Alex, thank you. We'll be checking in shortly. You're taking a live look now at the White House. We're topping our news this morning. Trump said he believed three-way talks involving Russian President Vladimir Putin, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and himself would still happen. Now, that was said in an interview published yesterday with the conservative news site Daily Caller. Meanwhile, President Trump's immigration operations are leading to a showdown between federal authorities and police in Chicago. That's where the city's mayor signed an executive order blocking police from cooperating with federal immigration officers. In more local news this morning, a portion of Century Avenue in Middleton will be closed until Wednesday due to a water main break. Middleton Public Works said the affected areas are between Tomahawk Trail and Baskerville Avenue. Crews are working to shift traffic in the area, and it'll remain closed to allow for repairs and asphalt work. Residents are asked to plan for extra travel time and to use alternate routes. Just before 8 last night, Madison police officers responded to reports of shots fired on Mineral Point Road near Black Hawk Church. Officers located numerous people on scene, but at this time, it does not appear anyone was hit by gunfire. No suspects have been located, and the weapons violation investigation is ongoing. Starting Tuesday, residents in Beloit can expect a change to begin for that transit system. The new east-west route is replacing the Gateway route, so this provides direct year-round service between residential areas and schools. Fare prices remain the same with new discounts for veterans and students. And the city is also launching a fare capping system and introducing WISC-O. WISC-O allows payments via the UMO app, WISC-O cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and credit and debit cards. Now, as kids head back to school, a new Vanguard consumer survey shows nearly 70% of parents spent more money than expected on their children. The Bureau of Labor Statistics report shows prices of books and supplies increased 9.4% from last year. As costs pile up, a Credit Karma consumer survey shows 44% of parents are planning to take on debt to pay for school-related shopping, and over half of parents cut back on necessities. Experts say even as prices rise, it's important to save for long and short-term education expenses.
A great avenue, which, believe it or not, only about 10% of parents use, is a 529 plan. And that is geared specifically for education and allows for tax-free growth.
A 529 plan is a tax advantage savings plan designed to help families save money for future education costs. Wisconsin offers two 529 education savings plans, EdVest 529 and Tomorrow Scholar. You can find more information on these plans attached to this story on channel3000.com. And starting Tuesday, you can expect children and pedestrians walking to school or bus stops during morning commutes. And the city of Madison is urging all drivers to be extra cautious as schools reopen in the coming weeks. Madison crossing guards remind you of traffic warnings, including reducing speeds in school zones. Lower speeds mean a lower risk of accidents and fatalities. Watch for pedestrians and cyclists. Always stay alert and be ready to stop near crosswalks. Obey crossing guards and remain stopped until pedestrians are out of the street and the crossing guard's stop sign is down. And finally, avoid distractions and be patient when driving near schools. Parents should encourage students to cross only at crosswalks or with crossing guards, and remember to follow the drop-off or pick-up signage. It's there for the safety of your children to reduce congestion and speed up the process. Time now 7:34, still ahead, how the holiday weekend is affecting your travels.
Plus, I'm going to let you know just how significant a cool down on the way is going to be for the area.
Keep it here. You're watching Weekend Mornings. We'll be back right after this.
Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. It's been a record summer of travel for the United States, and this long weekend is no different. Elise Preston is at Los Angeles International Airport.
The TSA says nearly 17.5 million flyers are estimated to pass security checkpoints this year with shoes on. American Airlines is expecting its largest ever Labor Day weekend operation, flying nearly 4 million passengers. United numbers also expected to set a new record.
Any concern about making sure you're getting to the gate on time?
I think a little bit. That's why we got here early.
Today, a speed bump in Texas. Strong storms delaying hundreds of flights in and out of Dallas. The getaway had a rough start for these flyers. Their SkyWest jet hitting turbulence on a flight from Aspen, Colorado to Houston on Thursday. Flight data shows it dropped 4,000 feet in a minute. 2 people were hurt.
Someone in front of me flew up and hit the ceiling 3 times.
Spirit Airlines also hit turbulence. The Florida-based airline declared bankruptcy for a second time this year. Most Americans will move on roads. They'll find cheaper gas prices, down about 14 cents a gallon from a year ago. But not in California. Drivers saw pump prices jump 10 cents a gallon this week.
Also cheaper, domestic round-trip flights, 6% less expensive than the holiday last year, according to AAA.
One of Madison's favorite food festivals opens the gates for day 2 in just a couple of hours. That's the Taste of Madison. It boasts more than 80 food vendors with proceeds supporting several Madison area charities. There's also a variety of beverage options and live entertainment throughout the day. And our team went to the Capitol Square yesterday to find out what everyone's battle plan was for tackling all those food booths.
Don't be afraid to step on the lawn here at the Capitol building. It kind of gives you a break from all the rushing around and people trying to make their way to the food booths. Take a second, recenter yourself, and get back out there and find some good food.
Today is the final day, beginning this morning at 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're heading out this morning, Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is live from our studio in Madison, helping you plan your day.
I got to get my words right. Maybe I need a little bit more coffee. For sure, I'm going to help us plan our day. Here we go. Sunny skies for Madison. Temperatures right around 70 by the time we get to the lunch hour. So if you're going to go out and do the Taste of Madison, what comfy temperatures you have here on Sunday. And this is not just the case for Madison lacrosse. Remember, folks tune in from lacrosse in on Channel 3 here on the weekends. And 77, that's where lacrosse is going to get up to. We'll do 74 in Madison for a high today. 76 on Monday. A little bit of patchy fog to start the day. And then I said we got a big cool down on the way for southern Wisconsin. As we get past Wednesday this week, we're going to have a strong cold front coming through the area, and just how cold we will go, I'll let you know when I come back for a little bit longer of a weather. That's in a couple minutes.
Alex, thank you. In your health news this morning, people who get the shingles vaccine have a lower risk of heart attack and stroke. A study in Europe finds adults 50 and older who received the vaccines for shingles had a 16% lower chance of having a major cardiovascular event. The CDC recommends 2 doses of the vaccine for adults age 40 and over to prevent shingles and related complications. And today is International Overdose Awareness Day. In Dane County, drug overdoses killed 118 people last year. That's nearly a 20% decrease from 2023. Local nonprofit Safe Communities and the African American Opioid Coalition are hosting their free 4th annual event at Oldbrook Park from noon to 3 p.m. today. You can attend a resource fair and receive mini Narcan trainings. Naloxone saves lives by quickly reversing overdoses by blocking the effects of opioids. In more health news this morning, our Kyrian Lee talks about some devices helping us monitor our body. In this morning's health conversation, she's joined with Dr. Rupa Shah.
They track your sleep, your heart rate, your steps, your fertility, and more. Wearable devices that monitor our health, like smartwatches and Oura rings, can be really helpful and provide valuable information to help us meet our goals. But we also can become too obsessed with these technologies. Dr. Rupa Shah, a family medicine physician and wellness coach at SSM Health, is joining us this morning to talk about some of the anxiety that people may experience when they become too aware of their biometric data. So what's all that about?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a healthy amount of data that people like and people want to have. However, some of these devices can really, for certain people, develop, create like a hypervigilance where they just feel like that data becomes overwhelming. They feel this need to continue to check it, and it creates a little bit more anxiety and stress in their life than otherwise not having it would.
So you might be getting more data because of all of this stress and anxiety there.
Yep.
So these devices are meant to be checked so that we can make adjustments. So how do we know if we're becoming too obsessive?
Yeah, so you want to really ask yourself just a few questions like, how often are you really checking it? Do you find yourself checking it and then rechecking it a few minutes later? And if so, is that creating some anxiety and stress in you, having all that data? The other thing is, it's starting to interfere with your daily life. Like, instead of going out with friends or doing social activities, do you feel like you are bound by that device and just feeling yourself unable to not check it? So yeah, if you just feel like it's sort of taking over instead of just helping you get some healthy data, then it might be time to ditch the device.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I know we're talking about some of the cons here, but there are some pros to wearing these devices if you're doing it healthily.
Correct. Some of that data, that biometric data that it gives you, is super helpful to help you reach your healthcare goals, right? If you're trying to lose weight or get some more steps in or improve your sleep, it can be really great data. It's just that if it starts taking over a little bit and you just find yourself being a little too hypervigilant, that it might be time to step back from it.
Before we go, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Time now 7:44. Still ahead, we're giving you a sneak peek of the Badgers' new facility in a News 3 Now exclusive.
And I'll have the very latest on some really cold weather for this time of year on the way to southern Wisconsin. It's just days away.
But before we head to break, we've got a special birthday to celebrate. Today, Reese turns 3. We're sending you a very happy birthday from your Weekend Morning team.
Here we get going on a fine way to end the Labor Day weekend at 74 degrees for a high temperature. How about 76 for high temperature on Labor Day itself? Winds light to calm. This time of year, as I've been mentioning throughout this morning, just a reminder, normal highs are right around 80, so this just a touch below normal for this time of year. Big day, Wednesday. That's going to be a big game changer in terms of the overall forecast. Good chances for rain, couple of thunderstorms. Let's track that. Here we go together. As we go into Wednesday morning, a couple showers, maybe a clap or two of thunder stretching from La Crosse down into northeast Iowa. But as we get into the afternoon hours, let's say from late morning through the early afternoon hours, that's when that cold front's going to sweep right through the center part of the state of Wisconsin, pushing through La Crosse and then pushing through Madison by the time we get into the afternoon hours, with showers and thunderstorms out ahead of it, and then breezy conditions behind that weather system. And those breezes are going to be bringing temperatures as cold as the Low 40s as we go into Thursday morning. Highs barely getting to 60 degrees as the same here for La Crosse. There you see that cold front. High temperatures roughly right around 60 on Thursday, and then we don't even make any improvement until we get to the upcoming weekend. Just how extensive is this cool air, or how significant? The darker the blue is, the more higher probability, greater chance that you have of having below normal temperatures. So it's pretty much a slam dunk. After this cold front, we've got some cold weather for this time of year.
The Brewers were in Toronto for a big series against the Blue Jays this Labor Day weekend. Both teams have the two best records in all of baseball. So we head to the top of the ninth, tied 1 apiece. And Jackson Churriel would get things going. He hits a solo home run right into left center field. Then later in the game, Christian Yelich at bat, and he hits a homer of his own. Brewers go back-to-back, stomping on home plate. And that's all they need. Brewers win it 4-1. Now, many fans who attended the Badgers opening night win over Miami, Ohio on Thursday may have noticed that massive construction project next to Camp Randall. That's the site of the Badgers' new indoor athletic complex, and our Eric Franke earlier this week got an exclusive progress check on the construction with athletic director Chris McIntosh and his team. Check it out.
To have a role in the construction of a project like this, generations of student athletes can benefit from is, from my perspective, it's just an honor.
You can see the future rising along Monroe Street.
It's super exciting because this facility is going to change the lives of a lot of young people, and it's going to be really transformational to our athletic department.
Jason King is the UW's Associate Athletic Director for Capital Projects. He's overseen a number of them through the years, but this is
the biggest capital project that Wisconsin Athletics has ever done.
Football is at the center of this nearly $300 million project, but in reality, from strength training to sports medicine to every calorie they consume, this place will impact every Badger student athlete.
Virtually all of our student athletes will be affected by this project in one way or another, impacted. There's a concentration of sports, football, soccer, both tracks, volleyball, that are just more concentrated in the Camp Randall footprint. They'll have more of a day-to-day. It's a generational project.
A project that also means hundreds of local jobs.
All of our fabricators and material suppliers and where the steel is fabricated, all of that comes together. There's probably easily 400 people that are touching this project right now, and only a fraction of them are actually here on site.
Jeremy Schechterly got his engineering degree at the UW back in 1999. Now a vice president at J.P. Cullen, his team is keeping everything on schedule as the 2025 football season kicks off.
So an event in the middle of construction is kind of chaos. So how we manage that, control that, plan that within our plan is what ultimately makes a whole lot of this success.
A unique project in a unique city and an historic venue comes with plenty of equally unique challenges. Just 5 of those towering trusses left to go.
So we can only haul them through the city at certain times of day.
Right.
So they actually show up in 4 pieces at 4:30 in the morning. And we have a crew here that unloads them, sets them on the rack that you see over there to stage them in a way that they can do some detailing before they get erected into halves and then hoisted into place.
And while the aging McLean Center serves its purpose for one more year, soon the UW will again take a backseat to no one when it comes to providing for its student athletes.
We look at it probably less as an arms race and more as how can we provide facilities that are going to allow our student athletes to have the best experience they can while they're at UW.
This project will provide us with so much flexibility and really allow us to remain strong in a way that supports our mission. And broad-based opportunity, all of our students will in one form or another be positively impacted by this, and it allows us to remain on good footing going forward.
Now that part of the project is expected to be done soon, but the entire project is expected to be completed by the summer of 2027. Still ahead on weekend mornings, we're sharing your music, so send me a song with the subject playlist pick. Plus, here's a look at what's to come on For the Record.
Coming up on For the Record, in celebration of Labor Day, the annual State of Working Wisconsin showcases where wages, labor, and the economy stand in our state. We look at what made this year so unique. Plus, Vice President J.D. Vance returns to the Badger State, and in Madison, we have a new chief of police. Now, that's all ahead this morning on For the Record at 10:30. You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. Here's a weekend playlist pick from Nick. Take a listen. You're listening to Take Me to the Top by Motley Crue. Nick says he chose this song because the original song is on their album Leather Records, and it's a much more raw production. Nick says only 900 copies of the first edition were released.
Well, folks, have a super duper Sunday. Nice day today.
Yes, it is. Thanks for watching Weekend Mornings. Coming up next is CBS Sunday Morning, followed by Face the Nation and For the Record. Our next newscast is coming up at 5:30 p.m. And as always, find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.